I have another young man who I'm very proud of as well, Jamie Kendrick, who runs the Chevrolet store in Nederland for us. And I want to tell you, my family, we didn't get here by ourselves. First of all, you know, we hang on to the coattail of the Lord. We always have. We were born into that. And I will tell you that I'm resting on the prayers of the ancestors. And if you don't know that you are, one day you will figure that out. I will tell you right now that I've been in automobile business most of my life. I went to work for a company by the name of Cole's Garage back in the 70s, and Mr. Cole was my mentor forever, coming through high school and finishing high school. In 1976, I had the pleasure of moving to Dallas, Texas, and I worked for a man named Jerry Freeman Oldsmobile. Some of you may be familiar with that name. Jerry taught me a lot about the business, honesty, integrity. I went to work for a man by the name of Henry Butts Oldsmobile, one of the largest Oldsmobile concerns in the country. As a matter of fact, was one of the largest Oldsmobile dealers in 1984, over 4,000 Oldsmobiles delivered. I know that brand doesn't exist anymore, but honesty and integrity came from that organization. I then went to work for a man named Cecil Van Tile, who bought a store called Reliable Chevrolet in Richardson, Texas. And I ran and managed and operated that store and partnered up with Mr. Van Tile in 1998 in a store that was Doran Chevrolet that became Showcase. A couple of years of that partnership, I decided that I felt I needed to go out and go on my own and pick up a store, and I moved to Beaumont, Texas, and bought J.K. Chevrolet in Nederland. Now, for some of you who know the history, John Keating owned J.K. Chevrolet in Nederland. I bought it from him. He also owned this store originally for a number of years before he sold it out. He wouldn't sell me this store. I tried to buy it from him in '03. He wouldn't do it. I tried to buy it from him again in '05. He wouldn't do it. I tried to buy it from him in '09. He wouldn't do it. He sold it to some other people for more money, he says. We finally got the store. And if John could do it all over again, I think he'd have sold it to me in '03. This is what we do. We don't do anything else. We don't sell Amway, we don't sell Shackley, we don't sell Avon. We're an automobile business, me and my family, and the people that work with me realize one thing. I never asked them to do anything that I wouldn't do. I never asked them to do anything illegal or immoral. And I will never ask them to work any harder than I do. Matter of fact, my wife says I shouldn't ask them to work as hard as I do. But I come to work. I'm accessible. I love each and every one of you for showing up here, showing that you appreciate us. I also want to take the time to introduce a few other people who were responsible for me having this opportunity. You know, General Motors franchises are very, very difficult to get. And let me explain that to you for some of you who don't realize it. An automobile dealer is rare than an NFL football player. There are more NFL football players than there are automobile dealers. And when they have a point of opportunity, they look through a lot of applications to make a decision who's going to get that award. And I want to tell you that I was happy when I got that award the first time. I thought they made a mistake. When I got the award the second time, maybe they found something in me that I didn't know I had. But I want to take a minute and introduce Bob Krapis, who is regional manager for Chevrolet, General Motors in this region, South Central region. And Bob, I'm going to take a bow. Come on up here. His team members, John Crispolucci, who is my zone manager. John, come on. Come on. Our direct contact, the guy that beats on us every day to take more inventory. Mike, come on. You see those pink cars out there and say, why'd y'all buy this? It's his fault. And whenever we have trouble, because we have to get you back in for a recall, Sean, come on up here. These guys, without them as our partner, we couldn't get this done. And I want to tell you that there's a multitude of partners. There are bankers here that we do business with. And I don't want to run a risk of, when you start calling out names, you're going to miss somebody. So I'm going to say this right now. I didn't intentionally leave anybody out. But there are bankers here that loan us money, and we appreciate it. There are people representing, who represent the insurance concerns that insure our cars, insure the facility. There are accountants here, people that count our money, help us count our money, count it again to make sure it's right. And there's another partner that we have, Motors Holding, which is a financial arm of General Motors, who we invest with. They're my invested partner. I'm trying to divorce them as fast as I can. They're my partner right now. And they're represented here. There are people who helped build this facility all around here that are invested here. And we appreciate each and every one of them. There are advertisers here that they take our money just like they take your money. They do a good job for us. And they'll be back next week trying to sell us why we ought to put this facility on every page in their newspaper. And we appreciate it, and we probably will. There are people who put us on the airways, you know, and maybe they'll give us some good times. But I want to say this to each and every one of you. The most important person in this particular room today are the employees of Turner Chevrolet. Because without them, me and David would not be here. We can't take care of the public without them. And so I want to take just a minute before anybody says anything else about anybody else. And I want to talk about the commitment of these employees. If you've seen the deplorable facility that was here before, but these people just hung in there. When I came in and said, folks, we're going to put up a facility, they hung in there. When I came in and said, if y'all would just have a little faith, now you got to understand faith here. They'd been told by 3 other dealers there's going to be a facility. And now a black guy is telling us this. Well, did we hit the mark? Employees. I want you to know that I didn't know how I was going to feel right now. I had no idea how I was going to feel. My emotions have been all over the map all week. I felt like a father who was expecting for the first time. I didn't know how I was going to feel. Sometimes I felt like crying. Sometimes I felt like, well, maybe I can just not show up. I'll come and do the work when the work is done. But I want you to know that my faith in human nature has absolutely been restored by each and every one of you who took time out of your busy schedule to come out here today. And I want to thank you personally for that. Thank you so much. I want to yield to my colleagues at GM